Alright, yeah. I think I get big hands. Yep. Oh, my hand will be all cramped up after this, bro. I know it already. Hey, aloha. How's it, guys? Oh, it's you. I'm like, what's going on? Is that the kind? Huh? Okay, okay. Cool. I think so. Can you chat? Are you on the YouTube? Did I hit the right setting? I don't know if anybody. Oh yeah, wait, live chat. Never mind. I've done that a few times. Martha, how's it? How's it? Ooh, man. Sandy, Suzette, hi, how's it? Aloha. Okay. Man, I'm so excited. Had all my stuff and everything. Like, forgot the one important part. You miss baseball?
Always.
Pete, how's it? How's it? Good to see you.
Yes. How you doing, my friend? Good, good. Remember we? Yeah. Hi. Just started.
Yeah, we just started like 1 minute ago. 8 o'clock on the dot. So I think though, I'm gonna tell some of the stories in the back over there, because no more cars. But we'll do that after. Let's walk across and see if we can catch up with Lopaka. Aloha, guys. How's it? How's it? Yeah, I know. Oh, well, that idea worked for a little while anyway. But hey guys, how's it? Yeah, we're over here. Here's Iolani Palace. Welcome to downtown. I've forgotten my tripod at home. Oh, we're gonna go over here. So actually, we'll flip them back around again.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm holding both phones now. So yes, it was raining. Off and on. Hey, where did my kind go? Okay, pocket. So yes, aloha, good evening, welcome. We're gonna do downtown walking tour tonight. It's gonna be a little awkward because I got two phones and I got two hands. So if it rains, yeah, I don't know, but we'll see. Whoa, hello sprinklers. I'm dodging ghost tours over here because there's ghost tours.
I guess I see so many pictures of like a man made there with other nature. He looks real.
Hey, you know what? We'll just keep it over here for now. Sorry, lots of background noise throws me off. Yeah, so we are going to be coming back here by the end of the night. Right over here. We'll be walking around to the back where there's no noise and telling stories of the beautiful Iolani Palace, right? Yeah, there's two tours. There's one tour down over here, and I think Lopaka then walked over towards Kavaihau. Now we have a third tour, just less people and more, yeah. Jerry, how's it? Aloha. But yes, so. I'm gonna let them do their stories.
On the weather on the drive.
I'm gonna wait for them to finish. Then I go walk up. Hopefully I'll be able to catch up to him and say hi to him. But downtown Honolulu has a little bit of a different vibe. Throughout the month we've been sharing ghost stories. A lot more of them have to do with ancient Hawaii and the spirits and stuff like that as well. Downtown over here you enter kind of a different area, one of post-contact instead of pre-contact. This one not filled with gods and goddesses, Pele and Kamapua'a and Kaupe. This one is filled more with people. And so the downtown area is haunted in many, many ways because of lots and lots of death. Lots and lots of death. People, just, yeah, that kind of stuff. Yeah, we could do that. There you go. And so, when you, oh wow, wait. Ooh, look at that. You get the moon right over the courthouse and the Kamehameha statue. The trees. Oh yes, you're right. The trees, definitely, definitely. You know what? Let's walk a little further down. We'll come back over here after, I guess. Yeah, let's go down the field here. Just away from the road so people can hear. Actually, you know what? We'll do a story right over here. Of course, this is King Kamehameha, his statue, in front of the old courthouse building over here. Been a lot of stories, a lot of sightings from the years I've been doing this, which I realize this year has been 17 years of doing downtown tours down over here. Telling stories, witnessing things, all of that good stuff. There was a night where, well, I've come here several times, and people have told me that they drive down King Street late at night, and as they're driving down King Street late at night, they see a gathering of people on this lawn around the statue of Kamehameha. And one of the guys was this Hawaiian guy, this Hawaiian uncle. He said he drove down here like 2 o'clock in the morning, and he saw a bunch of people on the grass, and to him that's disrespectful, right? People do not belong on the grass. There's signs that say keep off the grass. It's kind of a respect thing, right? So he went around the block, and he drove and turned back up over here and pulled over to the side to tell these people, what you guys doing? Get off the grass. And when he came out, never had nothing. Nobody was here. He said more than a dozen people. And then there was nobody here. So he thinks that they were all just a bunch of spirits that were here to kind of pay homage to the King Kamehameha. There was a night we were over here, and there was a photographer on my tour, right? And so I talked about how important and sacred this statue is. And so he came up and asked me if he could take a picture of the statue. I told him, sure. He says, no, can I go onto the grass and take a picture of the statue? I'm like, why are you asking me? You got to ask him. He's like, well, how do I know? I'm like, well, you just got to go ahead and try. So he asked for permission. He bowed down. He sat down, took off his shoes, took off his socks, walked onto the grass. He bowed down again. After walking onto the grass at the statue, he aimed up to take a picture of the statue, and his camera just wouldn't take pictures. He points it back down to the ground, and it takes pictures. He points it back up to the statue, and it wouldn't take any pictures. So he came back. He's like, I can't take pictures of the statue, but I can take pictures of everything else. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe that's his answer for you, you know. So he apologized. He walked back over here, put his camera down next to him, and as he was sitting down putting his shoes on, the camera started clicking pictures by itself. So yeah, pono and respect is a big thing, yeah. That was a whole nother tour group, yeah? Ooh, Matt.
What is that?
That was a whole nother group, yeah? Different guide.
Oh, that was right here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same mainland group. Same mainland ghost tour company, but they're running like simultaneous groups over here.
Oh.
I saw the same. She get the same lantern, huh?
She get the same lantern.
She get the same lantern over
I
there.
never noticed
That's
that.
why I thought it was the same girl, but it's different.
Yeah. They gotta speak louder, these guys. They gotta talk over me. This here is the state courthouse. This has a lot of history, a lot of stories, a lot of artifacts in there from the Massey trial, from Gil Jameson's trial. A lot of spirits are still in there. You go in there and there's an eerie feeling, yeah. And no, it's not the Iolani Palace, even though the old Hawaii 5 shows this as the Iolani Palace, yeah, or the police station rather. That's not. What? Well, not a tour coming up. Oh no, that's a motorcycle guy. I'm like, brah. No, I thought it was another tour group with the kind, the microphone. Yeah, the megaphone. And here's the Obake water coming out the ground. Hawaii, you know, Hawaii, we get plenty of money, huh? So, my goodness. You know, the sprinklers, they only turn on when it rains. As a drop of water lands right on top of my head. I wish I could go inside here and do a tour. Wow, so amazing. Look at those doors. I had to work late in the morning at the Kalakaua building. I don't blame you. So, that second piece of history that I was talking about, this is what had happened was after the foreigners started coming, the whalers, the voyagers, when Hawaii was discovered by Captain Cook, more people started coming here. And as they started coming over here, they started bringing like disease. They started bringing smallpox. They started bringing the flu, all of these just diseases to the Hawaiians who had no immunities to any of them. And so it was estimated at Captain Cook's arrival that the population of the Hawaiian Islands was around 1 million. And that's just not really including the people in the back of the valleys. That's just including what they had seen on the coastlines as they went around. That was about 1779. 1900 rolls around, and the census shows that there's now less than 20,000 Native Hawaiians alive. You know how every Hawaiian is mixed, yeah? Me, I'm Hawaiian, Haole, Chinese. It's because of the mixture that we're still around, because you know, the Chinese blood, the Haole blood, you get more resistances to these diseases, whereas the Hawaiian bloods didn't. My whole life I thought eating Spam, yeah, that's how come the Hawaiians so unhealthy, because we eat too much junk food. But it's because we're genetically inferior in many ways when it comes to diseases and heart disease and all of that kind of stuff too. But what had happened was when these diseases would come into town, you would have massive outbreaks. Like, I can't get the dates right because it's been a long time. 1860s, 1870s, there was a smallpox epidemic. In this area alone, took over, 40,000 lives, something like that, in a matter of months. What do you do when 40,000 people die in a matter of months? You can't bury all of them properly. You can't have a ceremony. You can't have a funeral for all of them. You do what's called mass burials. And in these mass burials, like, put it this way, you would, this was like the average kind of thing, right? Oh, hello there. This is the average kind of thing is your family member would get sick. They'd start to burn up in the middle of the night, right? And so what do? They go to the ocean because the ocean cures everything, right? It's good. It's refreshing, it's healing. And what they don't know is that the drastic change of temperature coupled with these illnesses, some of them would kill you. And so morning time would come and there would be bodies floating to the shore. There'd be bodies on the side, on the beach, going up and down the coast. You'd have people walking around with these wooden carts, throwing them into the carts, bringing them into a place for mass burial for plague pits. Where would you do a mass burial or a plague pit? Would you do it on private property where people live, or would you do it on state-owned land, government-owned land? These are state buildings over here. You got the state capitol back there. You got the Iolani Palace. You have the courthouse. You got the post office. This whole area was state land, and so therefore this whole area was used for many, many burials. You'd walk around the next day looking for your dad, looking for your family member who went to the beach. You never find them. Nobody knows who it is. Their bodies were just disposed of really quickly, really fast, because they didn't want the disease to spread. And so they're thrown into a pit and they're burned or they're buried with everybody else on top of everybody else. And there is no formal goodbyes. Yeah. This building here used to be the orphanage. This used to be an orphanage for all of the small children that were left without parents or anybody to take care of them. So it said that even around over here, some nights on the tour, all the banyan trees especially, we would have children come out or crying or calling from the trees kind of thing, right? I've never personally experienced it, but I've heard a lot of people say that that's kind of happened. That's happened to them, yeah. Not inferior, just didn't have time to repopulate. Yeah. Well, so I learned it was more of a genetic thing, right? But I think we're better now. And so yeah, even in the old days, this was just all land that was owned by the royalty. Now it's all land that's owned by the state. That's why when you hear of haunted fire stations, it's because there's a reason. Hold on. I'm stalking because I'm not there. Okay, there we go. Yeah, there's a little cat. Try not to stand under the trees. The birds are giving blessings. Yeah, we got this amazing tree. So this actually was where the ocean came up to in Kalakawa's time. Kalakawa, this over here, or actually right over here was his boathouse. He had a telephone, one telephone, right? And it just went to his boathouse and he would call the boat and say, get ready. But he was like cool like that, where he had an actual telephone with only one other phone on the island just to get his boat ready. We were technological. How you guys doing?
Good, good.
Yeah.
Checking it out. I'm fucking. It's all new to me.
It's all new to you? Oh, brah. I saw those lights turn off. Maybe there's actually someone in there, though. Banyan trees were a gift to Hawaii by India. Yes, and China. There's a lot of Chinese banyan trees as well as Indian banyan trees. They're very spiritual trees that Buddha or Siddhartha Gautama achieved enlightenment while he meditated under one. And so they're very spiritual. But over here, you have underground lava tubes and caves, and the roots go down into that kind of stuff. Hmm?
Sorry.
You good?
No, it wasn't a banyan tree.
Huh?
You say a banyan tree was?
That's what I read, yeah. Siddhartha Gautama.
It's a what they call a. It's related to a banyan.
Oh.
They have one up in the what's that sorry, Foster Gardens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not doesn't have all the roots.
Okay. I read that book.
It's a ficus. It's a ficus.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna have to do a fact check on that then. That's cool. Thank you. I've been saying that for years, like over a decade.
Well, if you Google it now, it's probably out there on the net.
Oh no. Yeah, probably because I said.
Google,
According to some Hawaiian guy.
No, when had the big tsunami threat. I went on.
You know where it's from?
Hawaii said, the Google said no tsunami threat in Hawaii.
Yeah, I remember that.
You don't trust Google anymore. I'm like, but the whole island sirens is going off over here. Everything. How you gonna tell us no one threat?
It could have been. I read the book Siddhartha. I think that may have been fictionalized. It was about his life story. So maybe that was part of it then. Yeah.
It was a tree.
Yeah. Thank you. I'll have to check that out. That's cool. But banyan trees are still creepy.
Yeah, well, they are kind of spiritual. You're right.
Oh yeah. The roots. I've been told the roots go into the ground, under the ground, where the spirits are. And over here, especially the lava tubes are and stuff. And then the spirits just come up through the trees, through the roots that are the trunks. And that's why the trees are haunted. Iolani Palace, they have the one in there has calling spirits in it. Glenn Grant talked about that, yeah. Yeah, oh man, that wind feels good. Wow. And over here, we're approaching Kawaihaau Cemetery across the street. And the cat is enjoying the ghost tour as well. Maybe he's protecting us from the ghosts. Hi, kitty. Where are we going? They had to plant these trees island-wide too. Much sorcery. Oh yeah. I think all banyan trees have the capability or the capacity to be haunted, but I'm not sure. I know the one international marketplace, a lot of people say it's haunted as well. Malia, how's it? How's it? Bruh, that was like, we came across 3 ghost tours tonight. And I've only been here for half an hour. Or maybe a little more than half an hour now. That's crazy. But hey, if you guys are going to do a ghost tour, I would highly recommend the best ghost tour in the country, Lopaka Kapanui Mysteries of Honolulu. Of course there's a cat, yeah. Well, Lopaka has mentioned that cat on his post. Oh, that's cool. Where'd that cat go?
They're so late. Joe started falling asleep already.
Wait, what? Where's this?
No, when we was in Mililani with Mace.
Oh, yeah.
First time I met him.
Oh, 5 o'clock in the morning.
After Mace goes hard about to the wee hours in the morning.
And then we spend like 2 hours saying goodbye. Hey, I gotta go, Mace. Okay, we'll see you guys later. 2 hours later, we're at the car. We've been standing at the car for an hour.
This truck, everything's still standing there talking story. Wife driving by and all.
Yeah.
Oh, it's still there.
That's my wife. She's going to work right now.
He's still in the park.
Hey, welcome everybody. How's it? How's it? No, Jude's not here. There's Keith, Matt, and Uwe. Yeah, maybe it's the guardian. We'll see if the cat reappears again. So we used to, I think they closed up the graveyard now, but we used to be able to walk in here. That plaque over there, this little monument, this little rock, and that little ahu, or the rock mound over here. I don't know, let me see if I can read it. Nope, cannot read them. I tried. I don't remember verbatim what it says, but I do know that this is kind of commemorating and honoring this little rock mound over here. As they widened Queen Street over here, they had found, I think it was several hundred unmarked graves, right? And you got to think, back in the old day too, right? If your family member died because of the smallpox or whatever, and they didn't have a place in the graveyard for them, where are you going to bury them? As close to the graveyard as you could, right? Because that's their religious belief. You couldn't bury everybody in the graveyard. So they'd be buried, a lot of them would be outside here, where Queen Street is now, on the other side. In fact, I heard a story, and my dad actually was, he remembers the old days, right? Back in the corner over here, oh no, I don't like that. Back in the corner over here, one of the church guys used to go ahead and make imu, right? Every week, every couple weeks, he'd dig a hole for the pig, yeah, to cook the pig inside. And my dad was there a few times and said every time they dig into the ground over there, they'd find bones. There'd be bones and fragments of bones and stuff over there. Just many, many unmarked graves. So that's a little marker for that as well. I can't read it. We would come over here because there's children, and we would leave candy, we would leave snacks and that kind of stuff as offerings on here for the kids in the graveyard and whoever else.
Hey Joe.
Yo.
Is this like a ahu?
Yeah.
The things that you guys
This, I think this is where all the people, that thing there tells you about when they widened Queen Street 2 lanes, they had found hundreds of bodies and they reburied them here.
Oh, okay. So it's just got
Yeah,
the
this is
regular graves, and then this is the.
These are the ones.
More the mass ones.
Yeah. Yeah, all the unmarked graves. Even in the graveyard, there's plenty of unmarked graves too.
Yeah, so I would assume, yeah.
Yeah. So I had a really cool experience I've never shared on the live before. I do the schools, right? The alarm system. So there's a school right back over there. Elementary school, preschool. Um, they had a special alarm system that would have audio recording devices as well.
Ooh.
And so when the alarms would trip, it would trigger an audio recording. And they would catch children and they would catch things like that and all of that kind of stuff. The lady had told me that when I went to go change the batteries, and I'm like, oh, I changed this battery already. She's like, oh, no worry, it's probably just a ghost messing around with it. It's the kind you walk right out of the classroom, boom, there's a graveyard. Yeah, it's that was a nice lady, amazing stories. That's kind of cool how this thing has the light effects. Cholokum. Ben, how's it? You go a little bit further in from here, which I'm not gonna do. I think it's a little more darker. I'm not sure why it's here, but you know what? I'll talk about that as we walk through, baby. Yeah, I'll talk about that later.
Some of them should have stayed over here.
Huh?
Some of them should have stayed over here. Come across it.
This used to be beach. This,
hotels or what?
no, these are that's retirement. That's Honuakaha.
Is that what it is?
I think it's a retirement home, or it was the last time I checked, which was like 10 years ago. This used to be the beach line right there.
Huh?
This used to be the beach.
Really?
Yeah. The sand came all the way up to here. That Honuakaha building right over here was a hospital for smallpox. Thank you. Dropping everything over here. I don't ever like these containers because it feels like there's bones in them. Probably not. Huh? That yeah. That was Walmart, yeah, Kiyomoku. They had these containers full with bones when they were building the Walmart at Kiyomoku. Ray, how's it? Happy Halloween. So remember the story I told about Kamapua'a? The one about Kamapua'a where Robert led the tour into the graveyard and that old man was yelling at us?
Oh, yeah.
And he shared the Kamapua'a story about Sacred Falls with me.
Oh, he did?
There was an old man that told me he was there at Sacred Falls in 1999 to look at all the bodies and stuff.
All the pictures on the top, yeah?
Yeah. He was right outside here when he was yelling at us.
Oh, from
No, just right down over here. He was sitting on that bench over there yelling at us as we walking into the graveyard. So yeah, that was here. This place has ghost stories as well. There's I find it kind of funny, interesting maybe. The ghosts, I noticed they like to ride the elevators.
Oh, yeah.
The old Hawaiian ghosts. They just chill on the elevators, like up, down, up, down, up, down. There was a lady that went into the, I think it was it was a guy. He went into the elevators and he saw these big Hawaiians in the elevator, and so he kind of didn't think anything of it, and pushed his way inside, and you know how it is. You just kind of put your hands in front of you and wait for the doors to close and wait for the elevators. So he puts his head down and then he realizes very quickly that these Hawaiian men had no feet. And before the door closes, he excuses himself out of the elevator and takes the stairs. Don, how's it? Night marches in Kaneohe. You talking about haiku, huh? There's haiku, and I think there's even night marches over where I live. Down by Castle. Yes, of course. I got invited to this guy's house, but he never followed through. He wanted me to bless his house because his roommate that lived there, that was the roommate's house. He had collected all of these ancient items and artifacts from all over the world, and he said the house was super, super haunted. Here's the new Kaka'ako fire station, and they have tea leaf plants around it as well. There's a reason for that. We'll get into that in a minute. Oh yeah, and behind Honuakaha, there's another one of those little rock mounds that have all the bones, yeah, in it. That's primarily from the smallpox epidemic. I remember reading that this area behind Honuakaha building was a cemetery with, I want to say, 12,000 people buried inside here at one time. And that's when they built the fire station over the cemetery, yeah. Because why not? Yeah. Let's see some of the comments. So I heard a little interesting about I know who you are. See, I just mute the comments, but if they still like to listen to the story, they can listen to the stories. Kohala, Big Island. Oh, that's great. I Am King. That station is so haunted. It used to freak me out when we would go to see my dad there as a kid. Oh, yeah. Yep. I can just imagine this whole area as a big cemetery, yeah? But even 16,000 people buried inside, or 12,000 or whatever, still wasn't close to the 40,000 that died in those few months, yeah? Honolulu Hale, oh yeah. That place is haunted too. The state capital, that place is haunted too. So I had a really cool experience one night doing a tour. I had about 9 or 10 people with me. And we were walking down. This is all closed off now, but it wasn't closed off back then. We're walking down that little narrow pathway over there. And I'm just talking story with some of the people on the tour. And we get out to the old fire station. I'll show you guys when we get over there. We're almost there now. The old Kaka'ako fire station. So I step out over there and I see this haole guy. I see this guy with white hair standing with his back to me, just looking up at the fire station and just like reminiscing or whatever. Just looking at the fire station. The guy had like he had like slacks on. He had like a collared shirt on. Yeah, we came out right over here and he was standing right there looking up at the fire station. And I kind of jokingly told the people in my group, oh, that kind of looks like Glenn Grant, yeah? Of course, none of them knew who he was. But they're like, who? I'm like, that guy over here. He was standing right here in front of the tea leaves, just looking up at this old fire station. And I turned around like seconds and I looked back and there was nobody here. So I believe that night I actually saw Glenn Grant. He was one of the guys that started doing the ghost tours and all of that stuff too, yeah. You could tell there's tea leaf plants around here as well. Here's the old fire station. It's a museum now. I remember I actually ran and I looked on that side and I looked on that side to see where this old man disappeared to, but there was no old man. Some of the people I've heard that have been refurnishing it, like painting it and turning and like not refurbishing. They have things happen in here as well, right? This fire station has a few books written about it. This is where the firefighters would be held down and choked. Renovations. Thank you, Mrs. H. Did I get Matt? Yes, Matt's here.
What's up?
Yeah. So this is a place where there's been so many times where people have gotten choked. The firefighters have gotten choked, pressed down in their sleeps and all of that stuff. Christy, my father was stationed there and he had plenty of stories about things that happened to him. Oh, yeah. As I said, a lot of people they're kind of hesitant to believe in this and that, but yeah, I am king. Yeah, you too. Your dad too. Yep, the pressing ghost. And remember that this area used to be a cemetery as well, right? Among other things. But it happens so many times, and there's so many stories. And these are firefighters, right? These are firefighters that are testifying, and they're not gonna lie, kind of a thing, you know. I remember one of the stories that Glenn Grant would write about was there was a guy. They were all sitting down in the rec hall watching TV. I think it was watching the game, and he was in a recliner, and something just held him down and pressed him against it. And like he was trying to fight it. He couldn't make a noise. He couldn't breathe. He couldn't move. His eyes were just wide, and he was trying to fight it and fight it and fight it. And the other firefighters saw it, and they're like, "Should we help him?" And they're like, "No, no, 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 no. Just let him go. It'll pass." And after a few minutes of him fighting to breathe, and he finally gets it off him, and he stands up and he's like, "Why didn't you guys help me? What the hell?" You know. But it just was so commonplace that, yeah, they would just kind of deal with it. What's kind of cool is we would do stories back here, and sometimes the firefighters would be playing volleyball in the back, and they would come over and share some of their stories and experiences in the new one too. Yeah. But yeah, this is always cool. When it comes to Hawaii hauntings, ghost stories, this is one of the most popular places with the stories. And yeah, 1800s, Hawaii's girls' school in Kohala, very haunted. Don, I was at North Kohala. The heiau is on North Kohala, I think, yeah? Kamehameha's birthplace and that heiau. I was there earlier this month. It's amazing. Yes, this is Kaka'ako area.
Cover my back, so.
Yeah, Mo'okini heiau. We did a live there, and I told stories about Ku. That's on my YouTube and on the TikTok as well, yeah? Konasai, where are the ghosts and spirits? Everywhere. I like to tell stories. I don't like to look for them. Because when you go looking for something, you have a habit of finding what you're looking for. And if you come out here all the time, yeah, they're going to start looking for you. All right. Sorry, I'm just kind of enjoying being here for a minute. We're not that far from the palace. We're gonna head back over there too, now and tell some stories. We're gonna head now towards Capitol, the Mission House Museum, Kavaihau, and then the Capitol, and then Iolani Palace. Yeah.
Somebody's taking jobs, yeah?
Wow. Well,
Like, I try not to shop on that. I put that in my
That's a shame.
you can smell it stuff. Not,
Right when we walked up over here.
I cannot smell nothing, bro. I'm not breathing through my mouth, bro.
All three of us. Was
Yeah, my nose.
like, bruh. It's not, I'm like kissing around. Like,
Look at the moon. Right. This is fun. I like this. It's been a long time since well, I think it's been what, a year since I've done this? But I do this once a year, and it's so much fun. I was down the road about a month or two ago, working on an alarm system, and right outside the alarm system, right outside that building, there was a hole in the ground, and there were a bunch of people digging up bones right next to me. It's just, whew. This whole area is like landfill, yeah. When they dredged Honolulu Harbor, they filled back a lot of the stuff over here so they can build up on it and stuff. Man, the feeling was not very good. They weren't being very pono, but they were working. And I guess it's kind of hard to be solemn when you're working 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, yeah? You cannot carry that solemnness all around.
Yeah. I used to run in Makai, not building to building. Street to street. Oh no, not this one way. It's another one way.
Ooh.
Oh no, I'm lost. Running in circle. I'm lost.
Well, hey, hello everybody that has joined. I'm missing it. I go live the same time every night. I try to stay consistent if I can. Except for Big Island. That doesn't count. This is we're walking now towards the Mission House Museum. They used to do a lot of cool Halloween stuff before. They hosted something called the Spooky Lounge. And I used to tell stories for that, and we used to do tours. I think we would do like 5 tours in one night just around the block for whoever showed up. And then we tell stories, and oh man, it was just a lot of work, but so much fun. Oh, you work on Alakia Street. Nice. Hey, mahalo for sharing, guys. Thank you. Getting close to 20K likes. Mahalo for the likes. And all you guys on YouTube, right on. Thank you for all the likes and all that stuff too, and the subscribing and all of that. Whew. Be careful of crazy drivers. I know we get enough ghosts over here. It's always nice to be in a little quiet area. So we can't walk into the cemetery at Kavaihau, and I understand. It's fine. When we would do the tours, we would walk through there to tell stories, and we'd have to sign a waiver to get permission to walk through, stating that the church and its parishioners do not believe in ghosts or the paranormal or spirits or anything like that. A little disclaimer, if you will. I have dreams of this place all the time. Wow, I just remembered that. Huh. But back in the 2000s, they started digging, next to the Kavaihau Church. And there was a lot of debate about it. There was a lot of problems. They found a lot of Eevee and bones. And I think they still have that big wall across from it. Did I miss something?
I don't know, it really caught my attention.
Yeah, let me know if you guys get something, yeah?
No, I was just looking
No,
at
yeah,
the size and the shape of that building.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
like,
okay.
bro, that is just, yeah, it's like, what is that, like the first building in Hawaii? I think just caught my eye and attention. I had to stop and look at it.
Logan Wong, what are your plans for Halloween? Anything special? Yes, I'm going to be telling my scariest story. Don't know where yet, depending on the weather. I'd like to say Morgan's Corner or Judd Trail, but I don't know. We'll see. I think get plenty of people that are kind of irritated about me going Judd Trail all the time. Is that the same cat? Probably not. what happened over here? I had an experience over here one time as well. I can't remember what it is. If you look at the walls over here, they're all coral slabs from when they dredged the Honolulu harbor. They dug out the coral, they built the wall, they built the church out of it, all of that stuff, right? They shipped over these houses over here. What was his name? Yeah, one night I met a friend of mine here, Jeff Tarumi. Jeff Tarumi came out to meet us to tell ghost stories, and it was right over here. He showed me his car, and he told me that he has little kids that follow him, and in his window there were little handprints and stuff and all of that in his car, and he showed it to me right over here. Jeff Tarumi has since passed on, I think, a couple of years ago, but yeah, I still remember that. This is the old mission house. This was the first press. The Biblia, or the Hawaiian Bible, was printed over here. A lot of stories in this whole area. They had opened their doors for Hawaiian Hauntings, my Facebook group, and the docent guided us through, told us history, told us the ghost stories. We walked through all the houses. Mr. Chamberlain is known to be on the second floor of this building. Oftentimes, well, maybe not often, but often enough, staff would go in the morning to unlock the door and open it up, and they'd see Mr. Chamberlain sitting in a chair smoking a pipe. And then he'd turn around, look at them, and disappear. There's a lot of old things around here. It's been, oh man, they closed the gates here too? Bummer. What time now? Not even 9 o'clock at night. What kind of church is closed at 9 o'clock at night? These are my favorite bathrooms to use. Oh, church grounds will be closed at 4 p.m.? Sorry guys, if your soul needs to be saved, it's got to be before 4 p.m. That's what it said there too. I can understand the graveyard being closed off, but I mean, come on. Huh? Yeah, I know. That's probably why too. Nadine, how's it? Aloha. So I guess, well, before we walk onto King Street again, or no, you guys cannot hear me, I'll tell you guys some of the stories. Right up ahead over here is, well, what looks like a water fountain. And I always like to share the story, kind of to commemorate this place, right? How it was named Kawai Hao, the waters of the Howell family. Man, I haven't told this story in a very long time. Let me see if I can even remember it. Yes, so there were these Hawaiian children, right? These Hawaiian children, they were royalty. They were ali'i born, right? And it's the basic story where another woman was in love with him, and his wife died mysteriously, and he marries the other woman. An evil stepmother story, if you will, right? And so, you know, the stepmother marries the ali'i, the father, and she kind of wants the power to go to her kids that are going to be coming instead of his old kids. And so these kids were treated bad. These kids were abused. These kids were just ignored, kind of thing, and they ended up running away. The problem that they would have is because they are a royalty, wherever they went, a rainbow would appear in the morning above where they were resting. And so they would always be caught by her warriors and dragged back and punished. But one day they come over here and they ran away again. And they came into this area which was kind of wooded. There was a water spring, and they were tired. They were so tired where they fell asleep by the water spring, and they had a dream of a woman. Man, I don't even know if I'm remembering the story correctly or not. They had a dream of a woman, and their mother, and their mother said that she was going to protect them, and to say these names or something like that. I'm sorry, I'm starting to tell a story I can't even remember properly. Either way, they woke up, and then when the warriors had found them, they had said the name of and about the dream and all of that stuff, and because of that, they were revered and they were kapu, and so they could not be bothered by the mother-in-law, and so that's why this place is called the Waters of Hao, H-A-O, Kawai Hao, after that legend of the Hao kids, right? And it looks like a little water spring over there. I always like to think that it happened here. You good?
Look, I got him.
Huh?
I mean, I got him, but that's a person in there.
See? Oh yeah. That's that looks like one lady, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
very possessive of the house.
Huh.
She doesn't like it visitors there.
So the impression I've always gotten over here, and ask me, like, tell me what you think about this, is this wasn't always Honolulu. This was a place called Ko. This was a place where it was kind of very religious. I mean, you can kind of tell this was Ali'i because when Kamehameha the second, the third, the fourth, you see all the government buildings here because all of the land belonged to the Ali'i because it was sacred land, and then of course it turned into government land after the overthrow and all of that stuff. So what happened is, what I feel is when they came here, and I've been feeling this forever, when the Christianity came here in the form of these guys, and these missionaries had passed, they're holed up in the houses still, and they're fighting some kind of war or some kind of battle, where they believe that they, huh? Yeah.
It's there.
It's theirs. They believe that this area, it belongs to God and they're good, and that the Hawaiian spirits that were here before them are demons. And the Hawaiian spirits are over here and they're living in their own land, and these things are trying to kick them out. And so they're thinking that these Christian beings are demons as well, and they just keep battling, but neither side understands the other side, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of how I've always felt this little area here. Actually, right over here is a missionary cemetery. Right over here. Let's see if I can get a little bit of a light. Cannot really. But you can see over here, that's where the missionaries are buried and all that. This is not Kona, no, this is downtown Honolulu. This is where Honolulu City Lights is. What is that flashing light? I'm not sure. Flashing light? Sorry, Jamie, I don't see that. Oh, that's a cemetery you had a few experiences in. That's cool.
They got mad at me.
I've never been in there.
Because I ended up shining in their eyes, so I'm not sure.
Oh, the mall. They're building the lights for Christmas somewhere else now. Ah, really? They're building the lights for... Oh, no. Sorry, let me read some of the comments over here. Those mission houses aren't going to be there for much longer. Oh, really? It belongs to the royal patent descendants forever. Yep. Not reading anymore. Oh, man. You don't know what island this is? So look, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lane road in front of me. It's definitely not Molokai, I'll tell you that. A coworker of mine who does the cameras. Hold on. Has shown me videos several times. In the video cameras, actually a friend of mine, so here's a little place right over here I like to go and tell the story. The video cameras are inside Kawaihao Church. That's a big church and it's all made of coral, right? And the camera picks up things moving around, it picks up people sitting in the pews, but it doesn't show them. It just shows a little box, like it recognizes that there's a person there, but then there's nobody there. Nothing moves, but it recognizes a person walking through at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and it follows them, the little green square. So yeah. Honolulu Hale over here. Christmas time, get one big Christmas tree, get Santa Claus over there, one big statue. Inside of him over here is also very haunted too. But I don't want to yell the ghost stories at nighttime. Now I'm going to take you guys to a place where a king is buried. Let's see if it stays quiet enough so I can share some stories. Before they would close their gates at 9, but now I guess they close their gates at 4. I don't know how I feel about that. Food share event, 1 hour. Aye. So right over here, this is the mausoleum of King Kamehameha. Well, I guess the 6th. But he's not really a direct descendant of Kamehameha, right? William Charles Lunalilo, right? So the story with this one over here, it's a very interesting story that Grant wrote about that I've always enjoyed telling the story. It's when I read it, it's just simply amazing. After Kamehameha V, Kapuaiva had passed away, they were looking for their next monarch, their next ali'i, and there was no direct descendants of King Kamehameha left that they knew about. And so what had happened was they decided to elect. The election was really informal because William Lunalilo was already the popular one. He still insisted that an election be done. He ran against Queen Emma and King David Kalakaua. And so what happened was he won by a landslide of the 20,000 registered voters on the island. He got all the votes, whereas Kalakaua and Queen Emma got a combined count of about 12 votes. This guy was indeed the people's king. The people absolutely loved him. He, however, ended up getting sick. I believe it was a year and a half after he became the king, and he succumbed to his illness and he passed away. One of his dying wishes that he told his father was to be buried with his people on the grounds of his church at Kawaihau. The next king that came up was King David Kalakaua. And you see, not too long ago, they had opened up a place in Nu'uanu all the way up Mauka in the mountains, and they called it Mauna Ala. It's right next to Oahu Cemetery. Mauna Ala is a place where it was a place specifically for the royalty to be reinterred and to be buried in there. And so King Kalakaua decreed that this king that beat him in the election, maybe he was a little sour, be buried up at Mauna Ala and in his rightful place. And so even though the father had protested, the people had protested, he still did. He gave him his royal procession. He gave them a king's burial. However, the people persisted. The father of Lunalilo persisted, and Kalakaua ended up changing his mind and said, very well, you want your king to be buried in the grounds of your church? Very well, we will do that. And so he said, but there will be no royal procession. There will be no 21-gun salute. It will just be moving his body and his remains to this place at Kawaihau. So that's what he had decreed anyway. In the middle of the night, almost in secret, they left Mauna Ala in the cart. And they start their way down Nu'uanu Valley towards where we stand now. And this is documented, like everything else in Hawaii. The small secret service actually became a very not well-kept secret. There were hundreds of people there. The people escorted him to his final resting place. As they started, and there are journals about this, people that wrote in their journals and that, that witnesses. As they started, the sky was clear. There were no clouds in the sky. There was no wind. I'm sorry, hold on. There's a bunch of traffic coming. That's usually why I get a microphone. So there were no clouds in the sky. There was no wind. It was just a calm, peaceful night. And then the kahuna started chanting. The priests started chanting as they walked out of the valley and down the valley. As the kahuna started chanting, their chant was so sad and so sorrowful that people who couldn't even speak the Hawaiian language started sobbing uncontrollably. They're walking down with kahili. They're walking down with leis. They're walking down, giving him his procession. Everybody was crying. The sky itself started crying because these clouds rolled in all of a sudden and the rain came down and started pouring. And very soon after that, as they continue their walk down, thunder and lightning starts to shake downtown Honolulu. And as they come up over here, right to the grounds, and they escort the king to his final resting place, all of a sudden, when they get him in the door, one loud thunder cracks and shakes the ground down over here. They close the door, they put him back to rest, and the clouds disappear, the wind dies down, the rain stops, and it becomes peaceful once more. Those who were present, some of them had enough of a peace of mind to count, and they had counted thunder and lightning hit the ground 21 times before it disappeared. And so it's said that the people of Hawaii gave their king his royal procession, and the spirits of Hawaii gave him his 21 gun salute as well. So over here, the story continues. And I've read the news and I've heard the other stories and all of that stuff too. There was some debate because the people who had put him in there had counted 3 coffins as they walked out. Who are in the other 2? One is supposed to be his mother, but there's also people that say the mother was buried into the sea. Nobody knows because nobody goes in there, right? The third one, nobody really knows who that is. And so one day, probably early 1900s, these sailors had a bit too much to drink, and they had come to the conclusion that it's full of jewels and silver and gold and all of that stuff. This is not Egypt, guys. This is Hawaii. Maybe you can get lau, food, that kind of stuff. But yeah, they thought he was buried with treasure, and so they got drunk enough to come down here at night and jump over the wall and break in to steal the jewels and to steal the king's treasure. Now the story here takes a turn. According to the newspaper that I was able to find, these 2 guys escaped with silver bars and silver necklaces, and they were found out later. I believe it was Florida or Georgia, and then they were tried and brought back, or then they were arrested over there or something. That's the last I heard, was that they were found and they escaped towards there. But the other story that goes on says that these men actually never left the island, because the next morning when the caretaker came in to take care, he found these sailors dead on the front steps of the mausoleum. Their bodies were turned in a way where they were trying to escape something. The door was slightly ajar, and probably even more telling were the scratch marks that went down their back. It looked like they had died of fright, and of just the looks in their eyes said that they were scared to death. So I'm not sure what the real version of the story is, but I will tell you, in the early 1900s, should that have happened, that would not have been published in the paper, right? Before I told that story one night, we came through here, and there was a little boy, maybe 8 or 9 years old. And so we walked up along here, we came over here, and before I could even start the story, before I could even start to say what this is, right? We walked up here, nobody knew what it was. the little boy came up to me and he was sharing stories with me all night. He would tell my stories before I could tell my stories. He knew the spirits. He knew everything around here. And he came up to me and I'm like, okay, what is he going to say about this? He's like, oh, mister, I know what this is. And I look at him and I'm like, oh, okay, what is this? That's a doghouse. And I'm like, ha, this kid doesn't know everything, you know. I'm like, no, this is not a doghouse, you know. Um, this is actually, and he's like, no, 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 this is a doghouse. There's a dog that lives in there, and the dog protects the mommy and her little boy. And I'm like, whoa. I did not expect that. Maybe that's what's buried in the third. But now let me take you guys around to the side and I'll tell you guys another story. You guys ready to continue a little bit? Because right behind the mausoleum is something else. How's it, Rob? See, as you can tell, not too hard to jump the fence. Oh, smell good. This is a little place I pointed out when we were all the way back here, when we were coming in from the cemetery side. There is a bell back here. Now, from what I've heard is this bell is from probably the most haunted building in Hawaii. Anybody want to take a guess? See that little thing that sticks up right over there? Oh, you know what? I'm kind of stupid. I can zoom in. I don't know. I shine in my light. Get enough light downtown.
Yeah, you were not on. They're shine the light.
Why they trying to sleep? Bro, they get the whole time for sleep.
No, it's just that thing came out and
Huh?
popped up in.
They what?
Those,
What
lady
happened?
came out and popped up right in back of Keith.
Oh.
So I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, right over here. If you guys can see that. That's the bell. It is 9 p.m. Yes. That bell, from what I was told, came from the Contessa. The Contessa used to be a church. And they had since built the Contessa over it. And that bell came from the church that it used to be under. The legend is, or the story, urban legend, whatever you want to call it, is should you ring that bell, you summon some kind of dog spirit to come out. And that's kind of all I've heard about. I, didn't really want to look more into it, but I should talk to, like Lopaka would know all about this, I guarantee. Yeah, but I've never really been interested because the more I know, the more I'm going to be tempted. And I'm happy not knowing. And so perhaps that dog that the little boy was talking about is right back over here, right? Protecting. Who knows? Yeah, I know. I see that. I want to ring it. I want to ring it. You would want to until you did, and then you would regret it, I think. I like to talk and tell stories. But if you do, please call me and tell me what happens so I can tell stories about it. I won't do it myself, though. But yeah, we'll walk back up there now towards the state capitol, and then we'll make our way back around. Yeah. No worry, no worry. Yeah, a lot of spirits around here. We had a EVP one night right over here. We were standing in front of the Royal Mausoleum, and there was something. It's actually on my YouTube. Um, oh man, I recorded it on my phone. My phone was, I think it was a Microsoft phone or a Google phone or one of those before iPhones got real popular. Just to date how far back it was, maybe 2009 or so. And I remember I asked, "Who are you?" Because there was somebody here, and we could feel him, definitely. And in the whispers, when I played it back, it said Kalakaua. It had this and said, like in a whisper, Kalakaua, just like that. What is that one? Not a one third, fourth ghost tour for tonight? Right. Actually, we go to Sylvia. One, two, three, four. Okay, no more extra people. Trying to figure out who the tour guide is. Oh yeah, I'll show you guys this. Earlier this month I shared a story with you guys about the Pohaku, the rocks. That was so far back. That was like the first week of October, so I'm gonna share them again. It was a really cool thing that happened to us in 2009. On the anniversary, the 50-year anniversary of the Hawaii statehood. So like every other night, we walk back this way as we're making our way back into the palace where we parked. Once again, before they closed off early. And we walked up this road, and all of these lights here and the street lights were like flickering, and the whole place felt really creepy and weird. It felt eerie. These lights were flickering and going off and all of that stuff. We walked around, and we usually end the tour. Should I show you guys right over here? Is that rain?
Yeah.
Or is that the sprinklers? Yeah, my pocket. I'm good. Ikaw lamay. Ako lipilikia. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna drop my flashlight. Thank you. Right here. I'm gonna do them like this. Okay. You guys can see that little rock mound over there, right? If you look to the side on the right, that's a little flat rock lying down, right? So we had walked back over there to that rock, to that little mound over there, that ahu. My coworker Robert had researched the ahu. The ahu was built in the 1990s to celebrate the 100-year anniversary of the overthrow, or more specifically, to celebrate Bill Clinton's letter of apology to the Hawaiian people, which was a big deal, right? And so those rocks were brought from different corners of Hawaii, different corners of different islands back before 9/11, obviously. So you were actually allowed to bring rocks onto planes, onto your lap. You wouldn't check it into your luggage because these are your ancestors, right? These rocks were treated very well. People would put very important things that meant a lot to them. Like, for example, there was a woman whose son had died in the war. He had gotten the medal of honor or the Purple Heart or something. And so she put her son's medal in there, and it's amongst the rocks now, and the pohaku as well, to add to the mana, to the goodness of what this place is. So you can imagine how it was very strange one night. We came out over here to end the tour at a place that's very hopeful and has very good positive energy, and we had the complete opposite. The sprinklers turned on, and the sprinklers prior to then had never turned on. And we did the walking tour 2 days a week. And at that point, it was about a year and a half, and we never had the sprinklers turn on us again. Same time, everything, we would do the tour. And it was just very heavy. It was me and Uncle Joe, one of the other tour guides. And so Uncle Joe walked up and found out the reason. That rock that's lying on its side, there was that one that was new. And there was a second rock that was leaning up against the ahu over there. And Uncle Joe pointed out features in the rock that you can still see on that one rock lying down. Features that would suggest that that rock was used for luakini, or human sacrifice. And that's why the place was heva, because if you can imagine, these rocks they're where people had died. The blood, the pain, the misery, the anger, the agony, the hopelessness, the despair, all of that energy for how many people went into that rock. And that was brought over here to unbalance the energy. Our thoughts on it, as we talked about it a little bit after work, was this wasn't ghosts. These were people. They brought the rocks here to upset the spirits so that the spirits can fight their battles for them. On the 50th anniversary of statehood, nonetheless, right? I had come back there with my sister a few days later, and I was going to show her this rock early in the morning, and one of the rocks were gone. And the place was peaceful and calm and quiet. Robert had told me he had driven by earlier that morning, and he saw kahunas over here chanting as the sun came up, and they had removed the stone, but they had left one. My belief is that that rock that's lying on its side now over there, that flat rock, that was once used for luakini. The goodness of the ahu and the monument over there has bled over onto it, and it has given peace and rest to the spirits, to that energy in the luakini rock. Yeah. What are you guys getting over here?
No, I'm wondering which one was the old state capital. Is it this one or this one?
The old state capital?
Yeah.
This one.
On that side.
Iolani Palace.
Is it old?
Iolani Palace was the first state
I
capital.
thought it was a separate building, so I was trying to figure out which one the two. I saw the pillars, so I was like, oh, that looks more like a Capitol building.
The state capital was after the overthrow. That's where they had Congress. That's where they had all that stuff. Right inside the royal, right inside the throne room, as a mockery to the Hawaiian people. Well, they took a mockery to it, you know. It said he carried that pohaku on his shoulders and it was brought there. Oh, Liloa. There's pohaku by one of the buildings that Liloa brought. Oh, interesting. Clean my lens. Okay. Sorry, it's hard for me to tell stories, look around, and look at two phones at the same time that I'm carrying two phones because I forgot my tripod thing. There we go. So let's see if the kind was right, huh? See if the kind was right and the doors, the gate's unlocked. You know, even if it is open, I don't feel it's appropriate to walk there if the other gates are closed. Yeah. Iolani Palace over here. If you look at that window on the top left, that's Queen Liliuokalani's room. That's the room she was imprisoned in. That room has a lot of mana. That room has a lot of power. You walk in that room and the security call it the code room because it's the coldest room there. It's usually even in the middle of the day about 10 degrees colder than any other room in the house. And when people say that when they go in there, they say that they feel sadness, they feel a lot of different emotions. Oh, Bert, I'll go see if Bert's stay. I've heard some great stories from some of these security guards over here. We would come hang out here till like 10 o'clock when they would close the gates. Yeah. I will tell you guys. I mean, there's so much. We would spend an hour here just telling stories alone, but not after our work today. Um, Standing over there, as we'd stand under the Queen's room and we tell stories and we take pictures. The other night I told you about the blue orb. It was right over there, right at the Queen's room with my Auntie Mariah's face inside of it. And that's when the obelisk, the ghost radar said Mariah. Yeah. And it was her face and it was my Auntie Mariah. It was so cool. Um, but standing over there telling stories more times than I can count. I'd be talking and somebody in the group will just break down and start sobbing and sobbing and crying and crying. And they look up with tears running down their face and they ask me why they're crying. And I started asking them, like, well, what kind of emotions are they feeling? And they said some of them would be feeling this immense sadness. Others felt anger, betrayal, all of that kind of stuff. Of course, these are the emotions that took place at the Hawaiian overthrow. I'm not going to get into the history. And we can do that another night or a daytime if you guys like, but this is about the stories. I did manage to find that there was an event that happened here that would possibly explain it. King Kalakaua got sick. I believe he had the flu or something similar. So he jumped on a boat and he went to a hospital in San Francisco. He stayed at a hotel called the Palace in San Francisco, where he was recovering and all of that stuff. Unfortunately, that's where he succumbed to his illness and perished. There's no phones. There's no way of getting a hold of the people here. So as the king's boat and his people came back to deliver the king's body back home and to give him a proper burial, they rounded Diamond Head and the captain messed up. The captain didn't realize that he had messed up. King Kalakaua's boat comes around Diamond Head and everybody downtown sees King Kalakaua's boat sailing in and the flag was flown at full mast. And so their king is coming back to them healthy and strong and better. And so everybody down here that saw that, they all gathered around, congregated, hundreds of people around the Iolani Palace, King Kalakaua's home, waiting to welcome their king back. And as he entered Honolulu Harbor, he realized the mistake that he had made, and the flag is then quickly lowered to half mast. And the mourning, the crying, the screaming of everybody that was gathered here on the palace grounds awaiting their king, when they had realized all at the same moment that their ali'i, their king, had died, was probably so powerful and potent that the very aina itself must have absorbed some of that. And every night, now and again, maybe when people tell the stories or when people come here at night, that energy will seep back up and people can still access it and feel it, kind of thing. Oh,
I knew they had to come.
maybe we'll come back sometime in the daytime and do a tour where the palace is open. It was always such a blessing to share stories of the Iolani Palace, of people seeing the king and the queen in the presence of the king and the queen. Each of these gates around the Iolani Palace were always for a different reason, yeah. And they don't have guard shacks because spirits actually protect each gate. One gate was used for the servants, one gate was used for the one in the front was used for foreign dignitaries, the one in the back was used for different people, and every gate had its purpose, and it was believed that the akua had still protected the royalty over here. And as we go into the state capitol, I'll pull out my tablet and I'll show you a series of pictures that we had one night where I believe that it was we had caught a picture, or somebody on my group had, of one of those guardians and protectors. So much sorrow, indeed. Of course, state, the library haunted too. Yeah, a lot of stories, especially in the basement. People, librarians that are still there, that kind of stuff, that have passed away and they disappear. Same as the archives building over here. Have a whole conversation with someone that died years ago, that kind of story. The same like the um, Honolulu Hale, be given a tour by one of the governors that had already passed away. I wonder if they're done with the renovations yet over here. No, doesn't look like it. I see that a lot. What does that mean? FYP. Hashtag FYP. Or let me show my age. Pound FYP. On TikTok. I have no idea what that is. For your page. Does that mean that it posted to your page? It will put you on the... Oh, okay. For you page. Oh, okay, okay. I don't know what the For You page is. Bruh, I got used to Facebook, and then I got used to YouTube, which I still haven't mastered. And now there's TikTok. Okay, thank you. More people will see your life, all right? Oh, I got you. I understand. Thank you. So it's like a command then. That's kind of cool. Oh. You had like sit down already? Huh? I feel if I sit down, I'm going to fall asleep. I'm not going to want to stand back up. So this place was built here afterwards. The old state capitol was Iolani Palace, and then after Iolani Palace, I think it was Governor John Burns who moved it into this and was building this one here. As you can tell, there's 8 pillars, and that's 8 Hawaiian islands. Not Vegas as one of them, though. But yeah, and on the top of each pillar, it looks like a little palm tree going up. It's actually surrounded by water. There's a little pond that goes around it, and each of the chambers, the Senate over here and the House over there, are in the shape of a volcano. And there's more to it as well. When we walk in, I'll let you know. And here is the beauty herself, Queen Liliuokalani. And somebody did not know that they should not have done that. They covered up her lei. Somebody has covered up her niho pala'au.
It's tight.
Yeah. You put the leis in her hand, that's why the hand's out like that. You don't cover up her niho pala'au. That's a symbol of royalty. Was there a kid running along the wall with you? I didn't notice any. Was there a kid running along the wall? Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, there was. Okay.
That's why I kept like. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, there was.
It was following us all the way.
What is that? Oh, yeah. This statue, they had a hard time with this statue when it was built because a lot of people argued that she should be facing her home instead of facing her back to it, and that she should be facing her back like she's protecting it and facing the future, which is the new state capitol over here. There was a lot of debate about it. There was pictures that there was a group of tourists here, and this was like a while back before digital cameras, and they wanted to get her they wanted to take a picture with her, with her statue, but there were too many of them. They couldn't all fit in. So they went to the stairs over here, and they all lined up on the stairs, and they took a picture on the stairs. And as it developed, the queen statue was standing behind them over here, facing out towards the Iolani Palace. There's a saying at the palace, they said, she keeping an eye on the government. I like that one. And she really is too. There's stories of her coming in over here. People seeing her, the queen, walking along. I can see if I can remember the story correctly. We can go inside here now and have a place to sit down out of the rain. That doesn't exist tonight. I think one of the coolest features of this building is on the inside here. And I used to be tour guide, yeah, so I know a lot of stuff over here. The water was also poisoned by the military. Oh, wait, really? All the way down here? No. Ah. For some reason, even 15 years ago, this bugger was always blinking. That one light over there. Here is a rendition of Earth with the clouds covering it, from as seen from the stars. And if we look up, you have what looks like double-hulled canoes lining up, and the double-hulled canoes are all facing in towards the sky. The double-hulled canoes reminds us of our voyaging heritage, our voyaging history. And then you have the sky that you can see, the sky that they had used to find their way around. So one of the stories, the parking lot is downstairs over here, and there's a bunch of stories here as well. There was one Halloween where the people who worked here would share their experiences on a blog, and that blog is still floating around somewhere on the internet. And so one of the stories was that there was a woman that worked here, and she worked here. She was one of our politicians, and she worked late at night till like 10 o'clock or so. And so, see, I haven't told these stories for a while. I'm trying to remember. I need to brush up on these stories. These stories are just coming straight from memory. Yeah. And so, the father came with the little boy, right? And they parked downstairs to wait. And a little while later, it was already 10 o'clock, the husband went upstairs to get the wife. Yeah. Told the boy, hey, just wait in the car. You know, the boy was kind of just cruising and, you know, that kind of stuff. He was actually, I think he was playing. And they came back down, you know, he went up to grab the wife. And, oh, no, I'm telling you completely wrong. I'm sorry. The mom had come over here, the politician, to grab something real fast. And so she left the boy in the car downstairs. And she let him play in the parking lot because there's nobody there, and it's 10 o'clock at night. There's not going to be anybody there. So he has his ball and he's playing in the little parking lot downstairs. And then she comes back down and she doesn't see her boy. He's nowhere to be seen. And so she runs all over this building looking for him, calling his name. She finds a security guard. They're all looking for him. And they spend some time looking for him. And then all of a sudden they see him in a stairwell. And he's waving goodbye to somebody. And she's like, where were you? He's like, oh, I was just playing with a nice lady over there. She's like, what lady? He's like, the one over there, the one with all the lays. The nice Hawaiian lady. And she's like, there's nobody here. She went up and looked and there was nobody there. And she's like, what an imagination this kid has, right? A little while later, they go to an event down over here and he looks at the statue and he points to the statue and says, Mom, that's the lady I was playing with, the one with all the lays. You know, so the queen is still around here and she is still very good, you know. It would be a blessing to meet her and to see her. Another phenomenon that would happen here is Governor Burns would smoke cigars, yeah. And so sometimes here you would smell the smell of Governor Burns' cigar smoke. Like the people would be walking down the hall or something, and all of a sudden the cigar smoke would hit him in the face. And they would simply say, good evening, Governor Burns, and the smoke would disappear, because in life, Governor Burns would only smoke when nobody else was there. He didn't want other people to have to smell it. And so he'd immediately put it out. Interesting story, personal one. I, as I said from my job, let me flip the camera around a little bit so I can look at you guys for once tonight. In my job, I get around a lot, right? And so I had gone into the house where Governor Burns used to live. It was so cool. We had to fix their smoke alarm. And so we went into the home, me and my coworker, and there was the lady over there. She was the daughter-in-law for Governor Burns. And I saw the last name was Burns, and I walk in there. I'm like, oh, it's not related to the Kaina, the old governor. She's like, that's my father-in-law. I'm like, really? She's like, yeah. And she shows me all this memorabilia. She made a DVD about him and all of this stuff. And she's like, can I give you the tour? I'm like, of his house? Sure. She's like, well, I will have to tell you this house is a little haunted, you know. And I'm like, really? I'm like, now you're speaking my language. I told her what I did, and she got really excited. And so she showed me and my coworker the bedroom and said, this was Governor Burns' bedroom. This is where he perished. In the bed, he perished in his sleep. He had a heart attack. She said her husband also perished in the same bed of a heart attack. And then she shared that she had almost perished in that same bed about 10 years ago. She was lying in the bed, sleeping in the bed, and something started choking her, holding her down, and she couldn't breathe. And if it wasn't for her dog that grabbed her by her pants and dragged her off of the bed, she thinks that she would have died. So I wonder what that is. I wonder what that was. But yeah, she has, of course, since passed on as well. My coworker called me to tell me that because she was a cool lady. We really enjoyed going to the house and stuff, and yeah, hanging out and just talking story with her. She was so akamai. She had a lot of stories and legends and that kind of stuff. Joy, how's it? Good to see you. Mahalo, mahalo. There was another story down in the basement. They had a little storage room. In the storage room, I guess, let's see if we can go up here. In the storage room, they always had books falling off of the bookcase. You know, you guys saw me enough. Let me turn you guys around. Much more interesting things to see than me. And so the books would fall off the bookshelf, but they would notice very soon that there was always the same book. And that one book had to do with health codes and health laws and stuff like that. And for some reason, it was just that book, and they thought it was like some kind of subtle vibration or something. So they would move the book around, and it would still fall wherever it was. Well, later they found when they built this place over here, right on the corner here, you'll see, but of course it's closed off now, so I can't show it to you guys. There's another ahu, another rock mound, because when they built this and they dug into the ground, they found right where that storage room was, it was said that there was a mass burial grave for children. And so it's very commonplace to hear children running around and playing as well. Yeah. Is it over here? And of course over here is Father Damien, or Saint Damien, Joseph Damien de Vruster, the first saint out of Hawaii. He's the one with Hansen disease, leprosy, that took care of all of the people. And yeah, here's all the stuff here. He was finally officially canonized as a saint a couple decades ago. Hey, Uy.
Yes. I know.
Your friend. Yeah. So yeah, right over here, they didn't close it off. Oh man, I wish I had candy. But you come across places like this, you see things like this. No touch them. Yeah. These are where bones were reinterred more than often. This is where the bones of small children were reinterred from the 1800s. Please do not allow your children to jump on them and play on them and take the rocks and that kind of stuff, yeah. Treat the places with pono, treat the places with respect, all of that kind of stuff, yeah. I don't know if YouTube froze, but there hasn't been a comment on it for a while. Oh. And the eternal flame, that's of course on.
I understand.
Sometimes it's the eternal flame is not on.
Because below that there is a basement.
Oh, this the parking lot's underground.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So what, going more than this? Come on,
No, that's just for
that's not the department.
no, that's for you get birth certificates, marriage.
Okay.
Records,
Yeah, records.
Yeah. It's not medical.
You got Washington Place across the street. That's where the governor used to live. That's where the queen used to live as well. That's where there's spirits over there as well. There's been, I can't remember exactly, but one of the old governors has been known to give tours in there, even after he's died. Next to that is St. Andrew's Priory. St. Andrew's has been known to have, I believe it's Queen Emma walking the halls sometimes, as well as other people. That building on the corner is called the Leo Papa Kamehameha building. It's named after Albert Leo Papa Kamehameha. It has a fantastic mural when you get inside over there. All right on the bottom floor if you walk by and see it, but it's a lot of walking. It looks far away. It's named after Prince Albert, who died at a young age, and so it's no surprise that people will still, the cameras might pick up a little boy on the weekends. It's an office building. I actually talked to one of the ladies who worked in the office building, and she said things would happen like they'd come in on the weekdays on Monday, and all of their knickknacks on their desk, like their kids' things that they bring to get them through the day, all of them would be on the ground, arranged like somebody was playing with them. The elevators would go up and down. The cameras would pick up what looks to be a small boy going up and down on the elevators and playing. It's believed that that's actually Leo Papa, Prince Albert himself. Can go by the Father Damien statue. Again, okay. That's awesome. Thank you. Mahalo. Yes. Isn't the Department of Health building also haunted? Yep. All around here, mass burials. Hold on, let me get my kind. There you go. There you go, Sean. Saint Damien. Joseph Damien de Veuster. Yeah. Kanaka, mahalo for all the taps, you guys. Thank you.
After being in Palau Papa and seeing the statue of Father Damien down there, I don't like this one.
You don't like this statue?
And he had vision.
Oh yeah, it's really boxy. I don't know why it made him.
And he wasn't that
So,
short.
so in the statue you don't see his hand because one of his hands is in his cloak.
Mumu.
Huh? Yeah, because it was mumu. That's why. Yeah.
Oh, the leprosy bite. You try to look at his fingers.
Huh?
Try to look at his fingers.
Mm.
If you got his fingers on the fingers,
Did one hand show.
Yeah. Oop.
but
Oop. Sorry, TikTok. Oop. I don't know what's going on.
his face don't even look like it, right?
I was kind of thinking that. I can see the resemblance.
There's a resemblance, but
It looks more like an abstract.
yeah, that's what
I don't think he was that square.
No.
Statue.
Yeah. Mahalo Kanaka. Yeah. Thank you guys for all the likes. Wow. All right. I'll go show you guys the pictures that I told you about. And I'll go risk my okole for a minute. That was the one at Kalaupapa. You're right. So, how am I gonna do this? I go. You guys can see the sky for a minute while I get my iPad and my pictures ready. Oh, my fingers gonna be all cramped up. So yeah, there's a couple pictures I wanted to show of the Guardians at Iolani Palace Gate. There we go. Oh, nice to sit on the pulley for me.
Oh, fire up.
Huh?
That's the speed.
Oh yeah.
Photo. What do you call it?
Oh, the picture. Oh, the iPad. The pictures. Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if the security guards will let me put up all my ghost hunting equipment. No, I wouldn't pick that. Hold on. Hold on. So here is some of the pictures, photos. Let me flip you guys back around.
Yeah. I don't know. I just something up caused me to look up there, and I just had this creepy feeling. I did what I had this like.
Alright, okay, here we go. So, hold on. Pictures. Here is, I have a whole category. Orbs. No, mist, paranormal mist. Yeah, right there. So this was at a night. This was a night on the tour where, I will do this. This one easier.
Just a few years back.
There we go. We were standing at the front on King Street of Yolani Palace, I think. Well, I remember we were standing by the gates, and it had sorry, we had people. Don't mind the lights. It's just a reflection. Yeah. We had people occupying the palace and all of that stuff, and so we couldn't go in. But all the cameras on the tour, there were like 20 people. All their cameras, but like 2 died. And one of the ladies with her camera didn't die, still took a picture. And she got this. See the little mist coming out of the corner? This is what killed the cameras. And in the second picture, the mist is actually out. And then in the third picture, the mist kind of starts to go back in. Yeah. There you go. These are I believe these are the Guardians, because after this, it kind of came out, as you can see. It peeked out a little bit over here. It started coming out. Came out, saw what we were doing, and then started going back in. And then all the cameras turned back on again, and everything got good. It was just a little strange thing, We have other mists and stuff here. This was at the Pali Lookout. I have no idea what on earth caused this. This is the night we smelled sulfur at the Pali Lookout. I remember that. Just a really weird looking picture. This was a skull that came off the van. The original picture was more misty, yeah? This was a Judd Trail. It looks like a pig and a man. Yeah. I should share some of these, yeah, on Facebook or TikTok and YouTube. There's Uncle Frank. He's one of our tour guides, one of our bus drivers. And he said when he'd move his arm up and down, that night we had the skull. This happened just before. There was, he said his arm would trail orange when he'd move it up and down. And here's my friend Jana's picture of a little white dog at the Pully when there was no clouds or mist at all. Oh, Joy, I'll show that one too, yeah. It should be here. Right there. Palm tree at the Pully. So we're going down the old Pully Road, and then we see this. This is like a drop. I don't know how this got braided, like Lauhala style. Look at that. It must have been the wind. And he was even all the way over there. Like, I don't know how they would have reached this far in, you know. Oh, I like the iPad for this. This is good for the iPad. Not for streaming though. But yeah, thanks, Joy. Let's see. Hey, this is Judd Trail when we used to go. Matt. Okay, this was a tree. This is where we sit. This is a tree where it's a big stump now, or it's a rotting stump. You didn't even know there was a tree there. Right? That's right by where we sit, right at the edge. See?
Oh yeah, the pillar.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Right over there. You can still see the stump when they cut it.
Yes.
This branch fell down on our, like right after our tour. I remember that night we had blue orbs going all up and down the branch. Blue orbs surrounding the branch, and we're up there like, what the heck? Why are there these blue orbs all along the branch? And then we drove away. We had parked right under it, and then it just like 10-15 minutes later, it fell right where our van used to be. Yeah. Love Google Earth pictures. Yeah, I showed you guys this one the other day. The guy that got bit at Kawai House Cemetery by the small child. The teeth marks. Paranormal mist, orbs. See blue orbs, Pac-Man orbs, different color orbs. Yeah, sorry. I like showing these pictures. Shadows. Did I have one of the shadows? Dang it. Did I really include one of those? No, there was one in Chinatown. I gotta find that one again. Oh, yeah. That's Iolani Palace. That's the Pohukaina Mound, I want to say. No, maybe not. That's either an orb above my head or dandruff. Me and Guy going ghost hunting. I want to say Hawaii Plantation Village? Yeah. I'll find more pictures later, but there you go. That was a good break. We will go ahead and stand over by Iolani Palace, and we'll share a few more stories because we kind of got to, yeah? Hold on, let me get my iPad back in the stuff. See? The whole reason I'm carrying around this 10-pound, 20-pound backpack. So I can show pictures for like 5 minutes.
I'll give your hand a break. Your leg. Your hand a break.
No, I know.
What else? This should be the last time you ever forget those.
Oh, I'm gonna buy an extra one to keep in my bag just in case I forget it again.
Of all the things, yeah.
Bro, I get the tripod, I get the chest mount, I get everything. But I don't want the thing that attaches the phones to them.
Yeah. your
So
holders.
stupid, yeah. Not bad though. That was only the second night this whole month. I forgot it. The first night we set the phones up on branches. Me and Matt made a little branch of
Yeah.
wood.
And your MacGyver something with the sticks.
Yeah. All right. Let's set up again. Where's Matt?
What's up, man? Yeah.
They're behind you. You almost got run over. Hey, good night, Ray. Have a good morning. It's like, what, 3 a.m. for you? Okay, we are gonna head on to Palace and wind up the tour. You know, wow, that's just so normal for the state of Hawaii. That light has always flashed from 2008. Yeah,
Earlier it gets faster.
they don't fix nothing. Oh, it gets faster?
Yeah. That's what
Oh, yeah.
it's a steady.
That's what happens when you install light bulbs all the way up there. Nobody can change them, huh? This is our Senate, yeah? Yeah, it's the Senate House. This place is scary. Not because of the paranormal. Because politics. Mm-hmm. I still want to smell the cigar smoke. Or the flowers or something. And there's many other stories that I'm pretty sure I had forgotten. Tessie, how's it? Yes, thanks, Joy. Anybody wants to follow my lives, I also got YouTube, and they're all posted there as well. Yeah. The YouTube, if when I hit 1,000 subscribers, I want to do something special, maybe do a giveaway or something. So we're at 700, almost 800 now. Also got a Patreon too. If you guys are interested, you can join for free too. I'm planning on, when this month is done, uploading some of the pictures and stuff onto there for the Patreon. There's a free tier. It's fine. You know what I mean? If you want to support, mahalo. If not, mahalo. I hope you guys enjoy the stories. That's why I do it. And everywhere I go, when it's public, you guys are more than welcome to come and join too, yeah? If you're interested in where I'm going to go, send me a message. On TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, whatever. Or comment on a video. And yeah. I quit doing the ghost tours because I didn't like charging people 50 or 60 bucks a person to tell them ghost stories about their backyard. You know what I mean? And so I love doing this. And I love doing this when people enjoy it. So here is the back of Iolani Palace. This place is great. I always love coming over here. And the gate is closed and locked, so the palace, just as I thought, it was locked up. The Menehune. Where will you be on Halloween? Now, Halloween, I think I'm planning on being, if weather allows, at Judd Trail in Uwan Valley. And I'm going to tell a scary story over there. One of my scarier stories. And if I can find the recording, I'll do that too, but I haven't had much time to look for it. It's like go work, come home, get ready for the live, and then walk around downtown for 2 hours. That was today. So in the Iolani Palace over here, history aside, this place has Freemason symbologies in it. They have a lot of Kalakaua was a master level Freemason in the Freemason Guild. I mean, anybody who was anything back then was. But they have the things on the cornerstones. They have a lot of the symbols. There's a lot of mysteries to this building as well. There's said to be underground things, underground tunnels, and that goes throughout Chinatown. I mean, you go down Fort Street Mall. Fort Street Mall was called Fort Street Mall because it was the Pakaka Heiau. It was a big ancient Hawaiian temple where Kamehameha the Great had lived. Sometimes when he came to Oahu on Queen Street and Fort Street Mall, that was his hale. That was a place used for luakini, human sacrifice. This was a place people didn't come around very much because if the kahuna needed a sacrifice and they saw you walking by, well, you know what? You're the next volunteer. You're in the wrong place at the wrong time. From what I was told, this place would have heads on sticks surrounding it, and it was that kind of thing. Not very Hawaii of, that kind of stuff. So over here, Iolani Palace, we would often, I miss being in there. Standing at the bottom of the stairs and greeting the king and the queen. They have Albert Leopapa Kamehameha. You go here on the tour in the palace, and you got to put on special shoes. Yeah, special little booties for your socks because the ground, the floor is very old. It's like koa wood, I believe, or something like that. But you got to be very careful to keep the floor good. And so you can imagine their reaction sometimes in the morning when they would come in and there'd be little wet footprints, little puddles all around. That's said to be from Prince Albert, the little boy, who was a son of Queen Emma and Kamehameha the Fourth. Fourth? Yeah. Prince Albert's story, man, he's over here. He's in Nu'uanu, that little boy. He gets around, yeah. He was about 4 years old when he was doing whatever a 4-year-old does. When he was born, he was a blessing. I mean, he was of the right combination of ali'i, where this kid had the mana. This kid had ali'i blood in him from his mother and his father. And more importantly, the missionaries blessed it because they were not related. That's how the Hawaiians did it back then, right? You got to keep the mana strong. And so his birth was a blessing, brought so much joy to the Hawaiian people. So at the age of about 3 or 4, when his father dumped cold water on him because he was acting up, Prince Albert got sick and caught pneumonia and died from the complications due to pneumonia. And that's when his father fell into a depression, turned to alcohol, died not too long after. Widowed Queen Emma, who lived out the remainder of her natural life as a widow. It's a very sad story. All the hopes, all the future, You can go to Iolani Palace, Bishop Museum, where he also is over there playing, and he gives people tours, and he plays with kids, and you could see his hair, his niho pala'au, of his actual hair hanging in the museum with the whalebone pendant. He's over here as well. He likes to play. He likes to wave on the top floor. He likes to giggle and run around and make noises and that kind of stuff, right? So it's a little bittersweet. It's sad that he passed, but it's also good that he's still happy and a little kolohe, like a little boy, yeah? Oh, Faye, yes. And Faye caught him. I was just thinking about that right now. Here, Faye pops up on Facebook, YouTube. I think I caught him on video with my fleur. You did. It was right on the right of the stairs. He peeks out on the bottom level behind the little thing. Yeah, that's so cool. Just this little head pokes out to look at us, and it comes right back in. The fleur is a thermal imaging camera, yeah? Heat sensor. And yeah, that was so cool. You caught a lot of things around here, Faye. Who's crying? Nobody's crying. Yeah, Faye got some amazing footage. Me, I don't record. I just click a button and tell ghost stories. Maybe I should try that. Faye, we go switch. You go tell the stories. Yeah, no, it's locked. It's closed. It's locked. It's closed. We go. Yeah, it's good?
Yeah.
How you guys walk back? This way? That way? Huh? You don't want to go back that way? Okay. Huh? Okay, there were a few nights right here. The EMF would spike. Gee, I wonder why. But we would have activity right in this pillar. People would take pictures of this pillar and they would see an evil face in it. And the face would always move around. Huh. I had forgotten that until now. Roof repairs, Iolani Palace. Oh, wow. So I will share one more story as we're walking back around. 102. Sounded like a woman was crying. Huh. 102. Cheerful Gardenia. Is that... I don't even see the timer on this thing. Yeah. Oh, you heard a lady crying?
That's why I don't want to walk back there.
That's why you don't like walk back there?
Yeah.
Who was crying?
Somebody who got murdered. Portrait.
Can we be of any help?
No, I already talked.
Huh?
I already talked.
Okay. She's not ready. Is it just...
I think she's homeless. Hopefully.
Oh, no.
Not listening.
Well, last Mike would have come down and show her the light.
Exactly.
Yep. This here is now a gift shop, but it used to be the barracks for the Royal Guard. And here's an interesting tidbit of information. This little castle-looking building used to be located on the grounds of where the state capitol is now, and brick by brick it was moved over here. On this corner there used to be the Pink House, and that's where the king and the queen actually lived. On the corner over here. They didn't live full-time in the palace. I mean, there's tons of stories at the palace, the piano playing by itself and a lot of stuff, but I'm gonna go more into another one. This one was in a Seattle newspaper. Glenn Grant had written about this one as well. It was called the the Hawaiian curse or something like that, right? So there used to be an elderly gentleman, and he was like, I think he was like the head of the Royal Guard before, after the Queen was overthrown, and then he became head of security over here when the new government came into place. And they had set up their Senate, they had set up their law-making place in the throne room, as I said, where the king would sit and the queen would sit. That's where they passed all the laws and all of that, right? And they wanted to make it look like Hawaii, and so they had all these little decorations around and by it. Up on the very top of Iolani Palace, in one of the storage rooms, there was a large black kahili. A kahili is a feather staff, it's like a long pole, it's like a standard, right? Each kahili, like Melody had brought up a few nights ago at Bishop Museum in the Hawaii Hall, they have the kahili room. Each kahili was for a different ali'i, a different royalty. You can go in there and you can see Kamehameha II's kahili. You can see the third. It was his standard that would follow him. Well, the large black one over here with black feathers had belonged to Queen Liliuokalani. And so they had thought it would be a cool thing to bring the kahili downstairs into the now Senate room, in the throne room. And so they did one night. I believe they did the proper ceremony in the middle of the night, and they had brought it down and all of that stuff, because the security was Hawaiian and knew all of that stuff and wouldn't have it done any other way. But he brought it down, he brought it out, and as they were bringing it back up into the palace, the kahili bearer tripped and stumbled. Maybe that was a foreshadowing. The kahili was then brought into the throne room and stuck in the back and forgotten. But not forgotten for very long. As it was stuck in the back, Very shortly after, the woman that, or the member that sat in front of the kahili got sick and perished. And then it followed. Man, there's so much noise here downtown. All the time. And then there were more members of the government that sat in that room to pass laws that died. They got sick, that died mysteriously. And then the family members got sick and died mysteriously. And so they had to, they were trying to figure out what it was. It was the curse of the black kahili. That's what the newspaper article said, right? The Hawaiian curse that was killing people and that kind of stuff. And so late at night, the guy had brought it back and he had figured out what was wrong. You see, the queen had mana. Her level of mana was greater than the people down there. And one of the old kapus is that whoever has the higher mana has to remain above. Yeah. Their head level has to remain above. And so the queen's kahili being on top of the palace was the proper place for her. Not to be down in the bottom and forgotten about. And as soon as the queen's kahili was returned to the very top into storage, the curse broke. Yeah. Oh yeah. Wow. Did he tell the story about the banyan tree on the grounds? No. Did I? No. That's the calling spirit one, right? I think. I would love to if I can go inside, but I cannot go inside. It is off limits. Yeah, triple gardenia. We confirmed what you heard. I mean, you have ghost stories everywhere you go. This is Chinatown. They got a lot of stories in Chinatown. Every building has stories. Every building has ghosts. Up there, of course, you got Queen's Hospital. That place has tons of stories. You could probably write a book just about Queen's Hospital. There's a lot of stuff around here in Hawaii. I guess people love Hawaii so much, when they die, they come back. Don't mess with the calling spirits. Yeah. The banyan tree in the back there has calling spirits. Wow. Oh, we're gonna see the sexy tree. Maybe he's still here. Ah, shoot. We didn't run into Lopaka. We did see him walking away, though. I wanted to tell him hi. Oh, hello, cockroach. There's the bandstand where King Kalakaua coronated himself, and sometimes they hear music playing from the underneath of it. Underneath of it's a little room, yeah. I've never really done a tour successfully walking around. I like to walk inside, I like to touch, I like to go up to the windows, that kind of thing. Oh, one more picture to share with you guys. There's another spirit that dwells here as well, right? This was a picture that was shared in Hawaiian Hauntings several years ago. There's King Kalakaua, Queen Liliuokalani, his sister. That's how tired I am. I can't remember Kalakaua's wife. What was her name? Queen. Oh wait. We passed the sexy tree. Alright. I always call that the sexy tree. It looks like an old man with his legs sticking out. Look. See? Looks like an old man. You get the ear, get the beard, get the flower in the ear, and then the root looks like one sexy leg sticking out. Look at him. See? Sorry. I've always enjoyed that. Queen Kapiolani. Mahalo. Thank you. You see him?
that natural or somebody caused it?
It looks natural to me. But it's been there since 2008. Yeah. Kuakini Hospital too. Oh yeah, guaranteed. All right. So you guys go sleep good tonight. Sleep good tonight. I'm gonna go sleep good tonight. Yeah, this is a cool picture I want to show you guys as well. Hold on. Let me get my bag back down over here. And let me put you guys right over here. Wow, what a view. Zippy's tonight. Oh, that sounds good. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's one of the stories I told when Kalakaua came back. And they didn't lower the flag. That didn't work very well. They didn't lower the flag to half mast. Hold on, I gotta put you guys over here. You know what? Remind me, I'll shrimp tomorrow. I don't want to go back in my bag right now. But, huh? Okay. Remind me to share the Iolani picture tomorrow night before we begin the stories, yeah? But thank you guys for joining us on the walking tour of downtown. We get plenty cars and stories and all of that kind of stuff too, yeah? It's been a while. I'm a little rusty. So sorry. But thanks for joining us. Tomorrow will be our last night for this October, and then we go back to every Friday nights again. Or we'll see. I'll post and all of that kind of stuff. But it's been a great month. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Thank you for all the likes and all of the activity, the subscribes and all of that stuff that you guys do. Mahalo nui loa. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Hawaii Standard Time. Take care.